You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it back there. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Boo signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm Giannouloudis, and we have something incredible in store for you guys today. And truthfully, it's a message that gets passed around a lot, but something tells me today we're going to dive so deep into it that you guys will not want to hit that pause button, because we're going to dive into the power of positivity. And truthfully, there's so much power out there with this positive aspect, but like I said, the message gets tossed around so much. But when you truly actually dive into it, it changes everything for you. And today, guys, we have Andrea Urciuoli back with us to help us with this and get this message out to you guys. So Andrea, with that, what's this power behind positivity?
Well, Billy, thank you for introducing me again on this rainy, chilly morning. That's not going to bring us down, though, right? So both you and I were talking about the neuroscience, and we're kind of studying a few different neuroscientists, Dr. Joe Dispenza, which we've been discussing,
Incredible.
and Dr. Wayne Dyer, who is a philosopher, but they have sort of the same way of thinking.
Yeah.
And Dr. Joe Dispenza believes that we have the power to change our mood. We have the power to change our lives.
Yeah.
We have the power to make ourselves not sick anymore.
Yeah.
That stuff blew my mind when I started reading up on it. You and I were texting each other. I do believe in that. I do believe that we have the power to become unsick, or not sad anymore, or not depressed, or anxious. And again, through the mindfulness research, when I started reading up a little bit on neuroscience, I started to just examine life, people. So I want to use my dad as an example. I always struggled with his moods. He's a really moody guy, and my mom is not. She is very kind and loving. And anyways, I went to visit them yesterday, and I said, I'm going to bring them something. I brought them something to eat, some dessert. And I walked in the door, and I was like, hey guys, do you want to go out for coffee? Do you want to go for a walk? And I noticed that my dad was watching TV, and I asked him how long he was watching TV for, and he said a couple of hours. Like, you couldn't, I don't know how he was complaining about his lower back, and his left foot was hurting, and how the weather was really chilly, and he hadn't left the house in a few days, and I just, automatically, I started to feel anxious and down, and I wasn't comfortable sitting in that room because his mood started to affect me. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Negativity.
The negativity. And I know everybody knows somebody like that, and I'm not here to bash my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always believed he suffered from a mood disorder, but I thought I was going to, in 20 minutes, be able to shift him, and I did. We had some conversations. We talked about one of our vacations, and I asked him for coffee, and I did what I could, but I stayed with them for a little bit. I took my mom for a drive, but I left feeling uneasy, down. I felt a little bit of a tightness in my chest. So when I drove home, I needed to see nature. I needed to look at the trees, and the sun was out, and I just needed to breathe, because I noticed he was bringing himself down with the way he was speaking.
Exactly.
Watching the news, there was a killing, or there was a bombing, and do you understand, like, the power of the mind? We can make ourselves sick, sad, depressed.
That's the neuropsychology behind it. And you mentioned these incredible psychologists and whatnot. And truthfully, guys, the neuropsychology behind this, which is why we want to do this topic, is because when you're focusing on the negative of the world, or you're focusing on what stresses you out, and your stress levels are just so heightened, truthfully, the power of the mind is right there. And what happens inside your body with that, when your mind starts to go down and your mind focuses on negative, is that your genes begin to deteriorate in a way. You begin to get sick. When your stress levels heighten, that's when you get sick. When you focus on the negative, you're taking that into your body, and your body begins to break down. And whether that comes in the form of a mood disorder like depression, anxiety, whatever it may be, or in some terms cancer or the common cold, whatever it may be, your genes are being affected not by the weather outside sometimes, but it could truthfully be right in here. And with this topic of the power of positivity, there is truthfully so much negativity in the world. You could turn the TV on for a minute or a couple hours like you just described. You could turn the news on and just sit there, and in a 24-hour news segment, 24 hours straight with the news, 23 hours and 50 minutes will be set on so much negativity. And 10 minutes, probably at like 4 o'clock in the morning, will be some great story of someone saving a cat in a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only positivity that's out there.
Yes.
Everywhere you turn, negativity is there. So what do we do with that?
Well, like Dr. Wayne Dyer says, it's a choice. You can make a decision. You can get up in the morning and say, do we live in an angry, negative, volatile, bad world? Or do we live in a kind, loving, perfect world where everything is perfect?
Yeah.
He actually said those words. And people might react to this and cringe. I realize there's negativity and volatility, and it is out there, but it is your choice.
Yeah.
Which way are you going to go?
Exactly.
What are you going to focus? That stuff's always going to be there. You do what you can to help out, but it's your choice, your feeling, your mood.
Yeah.
Am I going to get up in the morning and say, oh, this is disgusting, it's raining, I'm going to stay in all day, I'm going to put the TV on, I'm going to feel bad about myself, I'm going to eat all day. Is that the choice? Or am I going to get up and feel the rain in my face? Maybe I took a class this morning which completely changed my mood, and the class was packed.
Yeah.
Nobody cared that it was raining out.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get a spot this morning. And I do believe it's our choice. And I do believe, and I know there's a lot of controversy, but I do believe in the neuroscience behind this.
Yeah.
I do believe we can make ourselves sick,
Yeah.
for sure.
Exactly. And 100% with the neuroscience and with the choice aspect. Now, with that negativity aspect, there's something I teach in the seminars I do, self-improvement, self-growth seminars that I've been able to do more recently and spread to more people. And I have a specific segment in there called the rewiring process, and it's all about rewiring the mind. Because with so much negativity, like we've been talking about, every single day you are at a crossroads. You're at a fork in the road where you can choose to focus on the negative the second your feet hit the ground. Like, oh, it's so early. Oh my goodness, I have to go about the day, all this stuff. Or you can get up and say, I have another day. I was given another day to do something incredible in this world. I was given this day. I'm going to make the best of it. And from every moment on in that day, you will have that choice of, do I focus on the negative and go this way? Or do I focus on the positive and see where that leads? And that's the choice. We can choose to focus on the good. We can choose to focus on the blessings. We can choose to focus on every great thing that we have in our life. Or we can choose to focus on the negative that will try to pop its head up in every which way you turn. And that's the choice that you guys have daily. In every single moment that you have on this earth, you have a choice what you're going to focus on.
He also said, Billy, that mood is heavily contagious, and I believe in this too. The longer we stay in a mood, let's call it the bad mood, the negative mood, the longer you stay there, the cells in your body only remember, they're like elastics.
Yeah.
They only remember that. So it's easy to be happy. Oh, somebody gave you a gift. Oh, thank you, that's beautiful. And you get really, really happy, and then you go really, really sad because you've been in that sad mood for so long that that's what your body remembers.
Exactly.
That's why the subconscious needs to shift. You need to change.
Yeah.
And the longer you stay in that better mood, your body starts, the cells start to, it's like a happy pill they took. And I totally believe in that.
100%.
Because I do have some family members that have been in that negative mood for so long. It's almost like they cannot get out of their own way because they haven't experienced enough of happiness.
Yeah.
And it's not a gift, and nobody's going to
No,
give it to you.
100%.
It's up to you to make that decision.
Exactly.
Am I going to live in an angry world that's volatile, or am I going to live in a happy world that is perfect?
Yeah. 100%.
This is a perfect world. There are no issues.
100%.
It's how we react to those
Exactly.
situations.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Oh, I do too. I love that idea of it's the habits you follow, the habits you create in your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't even know we created them.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get stuck doing a negative pattern, negative habit, and that's where we're not getting the result we want. But like you just said, no one's going to give you that happiness. You got to create it yourself. And in creating yourself, you got to create a new habit, create a new pattern in your own way. And that's when the neuroscience comes into play, your genes come into play with everything, because it takes just like trying to learn how to ride a bike. Like literally, the first time you're gonna fall down, and then you start to get the hang of it. Like everything.
Right, that made sense to me when Dr. Joe Dispenza said that your cells are like a memory.
Yeah.
Then it clicked.
Yeah.
Then I really started to get it. And there's courses on this stuff too, that neuroscience courses that are not difficult. They're actually fun to dive into, and that you can take them online, but it's just shifting your thought process. Yeah. And it's almost like test yourself. You know when you're just really happy about something? Like sometimes we walk into, before our sessions of like, oh, I gotta do this today, and it's early and I'm cold, but then we start to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I feel you start to shift.
Exactly.
Because you just shift your own mood, and it does feel better.
Yeah.
To be in a better mood.
Yeah.
To find what's good.
Exactly. And truthfully, just like that idea where it's like, at first you're like, oh, I gotta do all this today, and then your mood shifts. It shifts. And truthfully, that's how fast it could be to change your mood. Like that.
Yeah.
And it's what you focus on.
Yeah.
Like you just gave the example. Sometimes before we do these, oh, I gotta go grocery shopping, I gotta pick the kids up, X, Y, and Z. And then we shift it by going over these incredible topics that we want to help you guys with. We're doing something positive.
Yes.
Changes everything, and you go about your day and you have a great day. That's how quick it is, but it's shifting that focus.
Yeah.
It's shifting it right there.
Yeah, and that was part of the mindfulness work that I did, the course that I took. They asked you to choose a few mundane chores that we have to do every day, like washing the dishes, grocery shopping, laundry, whatever they were. And just stop. Don't tense your neck up, and don't sit there and, oh, I gotta do laundry. And it's just the way you're doing it, just like soften. You gotta do it anyways.
Yeah.
So don't be so miserable about it.
Exactly.
And so then they wanted us to focus on scent, like you opening the water and you're turning the water faucet on. And you feel the really warm water in your hands. And you're pumping, let's say, lemon soap. Then your senses wake up, like, okay, this isn't that bad. Like, I smell lemon and my hands are warm. And then a few minutes goes by and I look to the side, I'm like, all the dishes are glistening, everything's clean. Now I get to make a meal. Like they wanted that experience to go from A to B.
Yeah.
And to actually, it sounds silly, but when you experience life in that way, I know it's hard, but you end up being more, less anxious and happy. Like, okay, I did the dishes, it wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
I went shopping, I have great food in the fridge now. Wasn't that bad. Maybe I met someone at the store. It's all these mindfulness tips that Dr. Joe Dispenza is huge on, so you don't walk your life through misery all the time and view these things as so awful. It's just a part of life.
Yeah.
And it just clicked. It made sense.
Yeah, no, I love it. Because it's shifting your focus and just seeing this what comes to you in that aspect. And, you know, something I try to get to everyone that comes to my seminars is, you don't live your reality, you live your perspective. And if your perspective is always going to be low, on the negative, on all this stuff, that's going to seep into you. You're going to live a negative life.
You are.
You flip that focus, just like we've been trying to get that message across right now, just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
And like we said, it takes time to shift that perspective. It's a habit you got to create, but when you create that habit, game over. You can always go back. You can shift that mood like no other, and that spreads to everyone else because you can shift other people.
You can.
Yeah.
That's what Dr. Dispenza says too. He says that, you know, the more you're in that state of mind, he said something like that's when the magic happens, because you become more creative in life.
Yeah.
And you get more ideas when you are calmer. more positive, have done your breath work, and you're not focused on, oh, I have to do this and this and this and this, and why does my life have to be so difficult? We all have to do that stuff, and it's life.
Yeah.
But it's how we react to those situations.
Yeah.
It just.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. And truthfully, I feel like we could talk about this topic
All day,
for like
yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
I love it, but I love it so much, guys, because it's so true. And we took a lot of points and try to get it across to you guys in a way that works for you. Take something that we said. We went over a lot. If you have to rewatch the video, please do. But take it and run with it. If you need to take time, like Andrew's explained to us, a mindfulness aspect, and take time and sit there to try and change your habit or just be in the moment, do it. Because it's going to shift your life, and it will in turn shift other people's lives too that are close to you, that come across or in contact with you. And that's a blessing in itself to be able to, one, change your life and then change someone else's.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You are what you put out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Take it and run with it, guys. Now, I thank you so much for tuning into this video, and keep your eyes open because Andrea has put out a lot of great messages with us, and she will be back. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.